Hey everybody, it's me, Maggie No, host of the Maggie No Show, which you're listening to RN right now. Some Hippolingo to start it off, right? Okay, we're getting going, alright. Anyway, so first, I just want to say that this is a bit of a continuation off of my first episode where I said I don't want to have children. No children for me. And if you haven't listened to that, give it a listen. Millions of people are listening, so you don't want to be on the outskirts of what's popping off, which is my first episode of my podcast, of course. So go give that a listen. And then we'll start from here. Like I said, I don't want to have a child, or I guess more like specifically give birth to a child, but I think I might want to foster one, but like not when they're like a little itsy bitsy little thing, you know. I'm talking about like when they're in their teen years, okay? But I do have one condition: I must be able to rename them. I'm gonna set the scene here, okay? The kid enters my house, or the underside of a random bridge that I've now made my home, because I'm gonna be living underneath the bridge. And this kid, they're gonna start saying something like basic, like hello. But before they can even get the, I cut the kid off and I say, your name is now Aggie. And they're like, whoa. That doesn't really make sense because my name is Thomas. Is this the right house or is this the right bridge? And I say, oh, sweet child, sweet Aggie, welcome to your new home. I'm not even going to address it. I'm just going to start right off the bat. Your name is Aggie. And then the next kid walks in. This is the plan. The next kid walks in. They all walk in like a line. Okay. They're all waiting outside one at a time. That's how the venue works. The next kid walks in and they're like, hey everybody, my name's Maggie. I'm like, oh, perfect. So this won't be as bad of a transition for you. So now your name is Ggie, spelled Ggie. And then as children just keep coming in, walking in, I just keep taking one letter off of my name. So after Googie is just Gee. And then, so it's going to be I-E is next, but I want to pronounce the I a little bit. So E will be the next one, and then just E. And if I'm feeling really generous and offering people part of my name, we can probably get into my last name a little bit. It would go No, O-E. So not as exciting, but, you know, it's still something. And I'm going to say it. I know this might sound a little controversial, okay? You might say, Maggie, you can't just take a letter off of your name and then name these foster children that. First of all, that's a horrible name. Second of all, they've already been named. You said you wanted to adopt a teenager. They've already had a name for at least 13 or 14 years. Well, not to play devil's advocate, but I'm going to counter your point with one. Nobody wants to be named Thomas. I don't see how Aggie could be much worse than the name Thomas. Thomas. Like Thomas, I'm just going to say it, Thomas the Tank Engine. Like, come on. And two, to your point where you say, I can't do it. I don't know if that was my other point, honestly, but I'm just going to say that, yes, I can. I can rename the children, and I will. And I will confess, this podcast may stop me from having the ability to foster children in the future if the government does listen to this. I imagine they as in the government, might make me sign to promise not to change their name, or something if I try to adopt a child. But in counter to the government's point of it being illegal to rename a child at that age without their consent or whatever, I don't know how it works, I would argue that me changing their name would make us closer as a family because we'll have such similar names. We'll have a connection that nobody else really has, except, you know, like the other people who have strong connections with the other people who have similar names to them, like Jessica and Asuka. Like, I imagine they have like similar like connection, but because like it's a family, I think it'll be a little stronger. And then you might say, okay, Maggie, wouldn't naming all of your 15-year-old foster children Maggie make you all even closer? Because according to your logic, the closer your name is to another person's name, the closer you are emotionally. And if we were all named Maggie, wouldn't you just be as close as possible? Well, okay, good argument. I counter. In saying that personally, I hate it when people have the same name as me. I find it a challenge and a competition as to who is Maggie number one. And yeah, okay. Of course, I'm joking. All right, okay. But also, there's like always a little bit, okay. Like, who's the dominant Maggie here? You know, like who's pulling the jokes? Who's getting the grades? Who can like, I don't know, like swim faster or some whatever the competition is. And I've strived my whole life to be the best Maggie. Fortunately, I haven't really encountered many other Maggies, at least in my daily life, and that is fortunate for both of us. Because if I were to see a Maggie, I might just run and charge at her. I don't know. I don't know. And she would probably get hurt, and I would probably be in jail. So I just don't think I could take the competition, and I don't want to name one of my children Maggie and then immediately run and charge at them. Because I want them to feel comfortable in their environment, accepted for who they are. And I not feel like when they ask me for help on their math homework that like I do it super fast to show my dominance in math and not really help them. So yeah, just in order to like avoid this whole like calamity, like me charging the children when I first get them, dealing with this weird competition of all being named Maggie, and still have the capability to hold a close connection with one another through our similar names, I think it's best to just name the foster children Aggie, Googie, Gee, I, and E. I think that just makes the most logical sense and will avoid the most problems. And also, can you imagine having close ties with someone named Thomas? It seems literally impossible. I think it would literally be easier to be emotionally vulnerable to someone named Googie than it would be to someone named Thomas. But hey, I mean, that's just my opinion. As somebody named Maggie. I guess I could try it out on adopting dogs first and see how they feel about it. But I'm sure they would be fine with it. Dogs are generally pretty